Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker! In the last part, we did the post-game dungeons of the base expansion. And now it is time to learn how to speak. To do Crystal from Beyond. The 8-man raid series! Well, started anyway. It appears my calculations were correct. I know at this very spot I would encounter none other than Arya, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my mouth that I stood here for. Well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Nimgigi, assistant to one Professor Claudian. We work with the Aisha to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our every conjecture. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it, however, so we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye to Eporia, Professor Claudian, who will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. Not that far away if I remember right. Yeah, just right here. Greetings, Arya, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I am sure Nimgigi has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Claudian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I have been nervous about this meeting ever since Nimgigi set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there is no greater honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He's peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other in Charlian, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman, we must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her. Let's crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea from the antitower in It was we who peered into the fathomless sea from the antitower in the Dravanian hinterlands. There we spoke with Heidelin and learned of the fate that would befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and through the Aisha did we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the access was declared, we uncovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly as propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by order of magnitude. And its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus toward the Exodus. Crystal was barely nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to see you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets. And now we would have you see for yourself. Here is the crystal in question. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. Wait. I know of someone who bears a similar crystal. Hit me. As I thought, you do know what this is. Please, tell me everything. I see. The Asphodelos use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages, but memories of martial techniques manifest as crystalline shards on the battlefield or storied stones passed from master to student. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Ascian memories. Windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal in Arya's story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who then could these memories belong to? More importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? Professor Claudian! Huh? Yes? I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest. When you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry, I do easily find myself unmoored by this heights of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. Anyone. Message. Come. Pandaemonium. Please. Faces. Grave threat. Star. In danger. The expression does not bode well. What did you see? Pandaemonium. 'Tis not a word I have heard before. In my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Gigi, Risinad, I entrust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Arya, there's a person I would have you seek. The one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that the crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that was the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip into the past, to an era before the Sundering. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beggar belief, and their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. Through today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. Speaking today is not. So I ask you now, return to the past, find out what and where Pandaemonium is, and if we need be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. Do not think you have seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. Turn me to the ocular. Okay, they're making me do this the hard way. Why would they let me just go straight to Elpis? No, we have to go through the ocular. If receives this message. Pandaemonium. Quickly! Would it be? No, of course not. Apologies, but for the briefest moment I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Elpis's observers. Rather, I am come here on an assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for this plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know, for that matter. I'm also here on assignment. Are you here to investigate Pandaemonium, perchance? Not surprise me should we share a purpose. If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? I see. I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologize for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Fascinating. While I cannot say much as to what it contains, it is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandaemonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Habrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandaemonium ceased. I am here as representative of an organization that works directly with the convocation and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we do next? Next we complete the quest, apparently. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Mylene in Aporia or Joel in Rozadhan. Where familiars dare. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let's journey to Pandaemonium together. Our destination is the same. I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways from the falling star I had been waiting so long for. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with a friend that I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandaemonium, so it was only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided that it would be unwise for us both to go. Two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about the restricted facilities. It could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words. Fear not, for in my absence a star shall follow before you. While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. Suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandaemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Ignoramus. Let's hop on over there. It's just a quick little flight. I probably could have worked faster, but it's fine. We're already here. A fascinating etheric signature. In accordance with the convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandaemonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandaemonium as you please. Now, that was a painless process. I take this as a sign that we were meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, we have been permitted entry into the facility. The specimens housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work within Pandaemonium are called warders, for their role with respect to the creatures within. generally creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, ensuring them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandaemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandaemonium is a frightful place. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with most haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. And I take it you have... That means you have detected nothing amiss as of late. The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations either have been observed, but surely Master La Habrea would have acted if they were anything worth worrying about. I see. It appears La Habrea has kept well abreast of the goings-on here, then. Hope I'm not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? Oh, the stories I could tell you! You are no mere familiar, are you? Master La Habrea is not known for being generous with his time. Though one would have stories of his company almost beggars belief. Regardless, well, I doubt I need to tell you this. He is of the convocation. Take care with that your actions do not hinder his work. With that, we are free to make our way to Pandaemonium. The nearest that will take us there is on the eastern bank of the left. Let's delay no further. Alright, so we fly back this way! Whee! To contain my surprise for the sake of appearances, but is it true that you too have met La Habrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let's be off. Truth be told, this will be our first time beholding the fabled Pandaemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? It is much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity not nearly so grave a portent as I had imagined. Alas, it was a fleeting and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with protections, is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not, There is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. Magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. As I say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should they lose focus, Pandaemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceful solution, then I hope that I can rely on your strength to see us through. This request doesn't come as a surprise, to be honest. At least you received it with good humor. Rest assured, I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk life and limb. I hope to be able to tend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your ether as basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Then so it shall be. Now, what wonder awaits us in Pandaemonium's pitiless halls? Asphodelos, the first circle, is now accessible. I'll save them! I must! This appears to be one of the warders we seek, but I'm afraid he's in no state to answer questions. Perhaps you can bring him to his senses? I think that's what the rest of that line was. Full countdown. Alright, I must save them first. So, Jim's Flail is gonna be a half arena attack. With very, very easy tells on this guy. Generally, he will open up with the one side and just do the other one. Also, I should probably use that button. Right, for the Warrior's Wrath, General AoE, run all you like, make change will catch you. Pitiless Flail, so this is going to put a target marker on one party member. It's going to do a knockback, you can negate it as you see. And will then be followed by a stat. Alright, Jailer's Flail, left side, so it's be on the right. Heavy Hand, Tank, Buster. Okay, so you feel overwhelming heat. So this is going to be partial arena thing or quarter arena. We want to be in the one that's opposite of whatever it got. So we got hit by heat, for instance. We want to now get hit by the opposite. So that was fire, now into blizzard. Or yeah, we got hit by blizzard and then into fire. Now we're back on fire, so we want to get hit by blizzard. Makes sense? No, I didn't think so. You know. Yeah. We also saw what happens if you mess it up. People kind of just died horribly. Buster again. Alright, Shining Cells is going to swap up the arena. Leave me no choice. And now it's all split into a bunch of different colors, and yeah. So you want to be on the opposite of what he is showing. So, oh, yeah, same thing. Thanks. So right now he's showing light. We want to stand on the fire. And so forth. This is flying really fast, actually. Compared to when Alright, so now he's also going to now it's going to be Ether Flail. So he's going to combine it with the Jailer's Flail, do the half arena thing along with the color. So, I want to be on the red, but not be on the left side. You can get super greedy on DPS, depending on where this is. I feel like moving, actually. Ether Flail, so plus fire. Go ahead. This is what I mean by green. I needed the back. I was on the back, okay? Where it's gonna bring it back to normal. We would have to put your Alright, overwhelming heat. So let's get on this one. I actually like to try and look for the one that has like whatever's gonna bring me to less movement. So for instance, this is gonna go ice into fire, so that means I have to move less here. Unless of course he flails on me. Fortunately, I didn't put this up here. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. It's fine, that goes off first, and then you need to avoid. And everything is all well and dandy, and see, nothing to worry about. Man, you're gonna get to see Shining Cells again, aren't we? It's gonna die too fast. Help, our party has too much damage! If you don't see it, I can kind of describe what the next Shining Cells would look like. Shining Cells, please. I'm not gonna get it. So the next Shining Cells, it would have basically done even more of the mix with the flail and stuff, and just the knockback and all that. zeros out of shining cells that we didn't get to see because our party had too much damage. Yay! Because when I did this in practice, we did not have a high damage group. Nothing good drops. So let's go. Now I got a commendation. Was it because I was new and was able to perfectly do mechanics? Probably. That was a thrilling display, and if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your aether fall even more swimmingly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from an excellent cloth after all. I should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. Oh yeah, he stirs. What overcame me? It's coming back to me. My mind was filled up with a storm of desperation, anger, left at you, though I knew not of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I would have hit the button too soon. I might have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. I am Themis, a warder of Asphodelos, Pandaemonium's highest lair, in the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandaemonium? The creations interred within Asphodelos have been set free and stalk its halls to no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandaemonium is under the charge of a key ward who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of their domain. They are selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master La Habrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. Hardly realize that I have become separated from my colleagues. Remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury. The blackness from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind, perhaps the selfsame ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that might help, pray tell. Horror among horrors, so Pandaemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual or individuals that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandaemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, and perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. As I thought, were the creations to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. Words of La Habrea would never risk that, and despite what value the research subjects may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone. I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creations return to their cells at all costs. And so I must do the same, Themis. I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please, say not a word of this to the convocation until I begin being given a chance to set things right. Forgive my rudeness, Sir Asphodelos, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey. So for the time being, there is slightly more than resolve to rely upon. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend, which goes some way toward encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So you agree to help? For the moment, our goals align. To protect the magics of Pandaemonium Yahoo, so for the moment time is in our favor. Let's proceed upon the course you and Arya have set us upon. Themis and Arya, thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We shall be glad to have someone familiar with Pandaemonium's halls by our side. A great party of three is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of two. Now, let us turn our attention to rescuing our colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates in case any have followed you out. Under the surface. Now the sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally, although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, our untold hours of study, go to waste. I dare say Loha Brea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile. I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. Ah, so you have met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandaemonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of Chief Keyword. His name was... Her name was Athena, and she was a researcher with the words. It was she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a Chief Ward before La Habrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the wards, then. You wish also to preserve the work of your mentor. You, the right of it, I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that. However, I'm a mere warder and cannot wield internment magics. Ah, but of course, I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. You call. During a battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Interment is a more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. Both are used to keep our subjects docile. Only the keyword of each tier is permitted to use interment. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. Alhambra himself established their foundation, if I recall. Well, shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time. Interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. Indeed, while the illusory beings you summon in our fight and suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how the invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of interment and its inner workings, perhaps... Well, you have a warder standing right in front of you. Well, the solution is obvious when you put it like that. Examining as you implied that what prevented you from performing interment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Will the spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it might be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. In the smallest misstep, and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well, let's work on the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures. I suppose there is a matter of finding one. Be foolish to rush in blindly unless we find ourselves surrounded with naught but untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I prefer to engage a single creature that Arya could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. The other subjects housed within Asphodelos are fond of water, and I believe they'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the interment magics, the creatures should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. As dependable as ever. Once you have given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus with the keyword's magic. Until then, my allegiance shall fight by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nonetheless. Its magic warps the environment around it. It will be black hole amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Asphodelos, the second circle, is now accessible. What? Okay, that was actually really fast. I hate this fight, by the way. Alright, yeah, so what's the countdown anymore, anyway? What am I doing? Tank? Do you want to turn it? Heck. Oh my god, I don't know what this tank is doing. That was a dual buster, by the way, dual tank buster. This is really gonna throw me off. But anyway, if the 10 and body are at odds, I doubt it signifies anything good. It's really throwing me off being faced like this. Because that's just gonna happen. Not like this position. Tank, please. Yes, I'm gonna complain about this because it's messing with my muscle memory. It's also because the boss keeps doing that. I'm just flipping around. So the true DPS in this fight is apparently the tank. So actually, it's really annoying right here. So we've got these Luises. Yeah, he's gonna be doing a bunch of stuff with them, and we need to spread out. This works, I guess. I'm paying attention to my rotation. I'm annoyed at this tank. Alright, Dorito stack! We have a lot of experience in doing that. And knock of that. Bullshit. I was not there. Alright, so he's gonna like ditch his head and do a half arena attack with the head, so you just want to be on the side that's not with the head there. Also, wow, I'm being really bad today, apparently. So there's gonna be a flare proximity marker mixed with a stack. We want to be with the stack. The proximity always hits a tank. So, oh my god! Tank! Stop moving! Just tank it in the middle like everyone else does. Facing north. Well, you know, it's another expected. Samurai! Give me a spot, please. Anyways, that's gonna be a cross attack. This is where I really do suck at this fight because I can really bad at just like figuring out real quick where he's gonna be facing. This is gonna be a chaser. facing this way. And across like so. If stack goes, it's bad, by the way. Fine, I'll apparently do the stack marker here. Hi! I really hate how this guy is facing today. If I didn't already hate Pandaemonium too. Association, so he's gonna start severing his head while we're in this bit. Get off the side. Screw it, we're using arm's length. So yeah, you want to get knocked away from where the head's gonna be. Which, typically I believe he just like goes into it. That'd be great. Tank moved. To the right spot. Take this. It wasn't a DPS gate spot. No! Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine! I'm alive. I am not alive. This is not fine. This is not fine, ladies and gentlemen. Ugh. So there's a tank stick. Deluge. We've pretty much seen everything this guy does. We just have to wish we had the DPS of the last party we had. And the competency of the tank. Involve him flipping back and forth, and I'm getting really dizzy with this guy. Anyway, spoken cataract. Let's get into this corner here. I'm alive! I'm alive. Nothing bad almost happened there. Oh no. This is bad. Oh god. Oh god, get to the corner, Annie. I'm alive. I had to just screen north back because of rotation otherwise. Can you get over here, Magnus, please? Oh, I'm gonna break it 5%. I'm trying to let the samurai do it. I'm gonna hit that button. Associating. I can't really knock back. Doing it. Apparently, the samurai lost it. whatsoever. Yeah, wrong character. Hi. I knew that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus? Seed advisors scarcely have occasion to visit Pandaemonium, let alone display their skills. Master takes all forms, indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection, in no small part thanks to you two. Themis' power was more than enough to complete the internment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magos. Truly. Having seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Arya, I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception, and it is only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side to guide medium. We may prove the impossible possible after all. The fires of creation. While our success in stealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The keyword of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the keywords besides their magical prowess. Is there a lot more you can share? Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have a thorough knowledge of the creations here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic. I've always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywords are not only masters of internment, they can also bend the hallways of Pandaemonium to their will with creations magics. With all this in mind, I'm certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. I can see why absolute control over the environment is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus among arid sands instead of waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is capable of caring as you say, is as capable and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has, is not taking your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee the Abyssos if hard-pressed. But even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, and we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down the Abyssos. The rub of course is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix, last I checked. Phoenix. I've heard that name before. Fiery bird with a life eternal. Phoenix? Phoenix. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is overbuilt in the back of failure, however, and La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. He was hardly the only one. This Phoenix will be but one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. I'm far from evoking wonder that our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus it was confined within Pandaemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandaemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the wards of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. Enough reminiscing. We must make ready to confront the Phoenix. Well, it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandaemonium. We would make that assumption our own peril. I assume that we'll need to bring Asphodelos' most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in the barren corridor than elsewhere. This may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. What? It seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Possible. Those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let's confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. Asphodelos, the third circle, is now accessible. Really hate this tier. I hate this fight, mainly because of this arena. Oh my god, a countdown. What? These don't exist? The heck? Alright. It's cool, you know, that's totally what I meant to do. I just went into my normal... Crap. Yeah, okay, so I hate the fight for many reasons. I got distracted by the bard just kind of being dead suddenly, and then, you know, yeah. So anyways, you can tell what this guy is doing based off how many circles are around him. And, yeah, I'm really bad at it, actually. I hate this fight. No, I'm not doing this track. So, yeah. Let's actually try and talk about the fight. Dual Buster. We got regular Buster, to Staff Buster, to Dual Buster. We're seeing all of them, aren't we? Alright, so darkened fire. You'll see these little flames appear. You kind of want to chill on top of them if you're targeted with a circle, because you need to kill these fires. The only way to kill them is with the little brightened fire. And they explode and do massive amounts of damage, if not destroyed. I have had many groups recently that are not killing them. Also, there was a half arena thing. I was busy, again, being distracted. I was at least on the right side. Anyways, when he's about, it's like 65-ish, 75-ish%, he will do a jump. And that, the enter will get deleted. And now he's going to summon ads. The only time we'll be seeing ads. I'm just going to go to the one I was closest to. Hello. How's it going? Oh, you want to be all this. And yes, with all the blazing rain and everything going on, it is very difficult to actually see in this fight. Over. We're gonna have two more up here. I have to run for a second. I wanna say you don't want to stack them, but I've never actually really seen them stacked. So. Also, yes, there's a pointing fire gauge. Presumably, if that hits 100, it's a wipe. So, I've never seen it. Oh, right. I forget you can target him, like, before this attack actually goes off. So, Dead Rebirth with Phoenix was, charging here. Yeah. So, he has these little guys around him now. They're a little more visible. He's had them, but you can see him a little more. And there's another half arena thing, and I conveniently managed to avoid it. Yay! It's all luck. I'm like, oh hey, look, I'm not paying attention to the stuff because. Okay, this way. So yeah, so you're gonna do this piece by piece, and we need to get, let's say, over here first. So you'll see these go off. Bit by bit, and I'm gonna find myself. Shut up and punch. Buster. I'm just trying to get through this fight. I'm really bad at Phoenix. Scooping. We're gonna have the arena split into quarters. As a deep melee, I'm joining the tanks over here. So Dragoon really did not want to be in that spot that he decided to take. What? Okay. And it's not like last fight or the chase. One. It's fine, Rennie. This tank is like flying the problem. Okay, Char Plume. Do this again. Fire Plume. Okay, big burst. Let's get out. I actually saw it this time. It's like really super out too, like way more than I expect. I always am like, oh yeah, it's like way out here. No, my blitz. Here. It's fine. My blitz is fine. My blitz is fine! Where was I? Okay, that's where I was, apparently. I've lost where I was again. Anyway. This is fine. Alright, so we're doing the quarters again. Well, I guess the tonal thing again. here, over to here. Also, I'm really bad at staying within range to actually hit during that. Alright, circle! Kind of easy to start in the center and get out. That was not what I wanted to hit, but it's okay. It's okay. At least I haven't died. Oh god, hello. Oh god, no! There's multiple steps! No, there's multiple steps! Stop! Stop! Ow, I got hit! No. Okay, tanks, you're going this way? I'm going this way. Hi tanks, how's it going? I'm chilling with you here. Alright, darkened fires. I'm ready to run south. Okay, I got him range. Hey Dragon, I'm counting you the limit break, just so you know. I don't want to. I didn't make that combination. Oh well! I did it. Too late now. Hey, look! I happen to be on the right side again. I keep doing that. The Dragon is not gonna let me break this here. It really isn't. Fire plume. Big circle! Out! Out! Get out! You don't want to know how long it took me to learn this pattern for the fire plumes, okay? Huh? I got it again. No! You jerk! With you. This was uncalled for. Oops, sorry. Sorry, Dragon. Didn't mean to hit you there. Tank, don't escape, please. I'm close to you. Well, I didn't die. Still hate this fight, though. Can't believe I looked out on those fire wings so often, honestly. I'm a lot better at 4, so... With that, the Phoenix is shackled. The Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person, Asphodelos, with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Unfortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display that befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least later than to imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is more fulfilling than its creators are care to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I'd hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. You were at Hezros? Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandaemonium? Pandaemonium, pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, like those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Ericthonius, you must pester me with things and questions. Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. And again, you have never been one for insight. Why Mr. La Habrea suffers your mediocrity, I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you, too, from the inside out. Keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You've heard my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such a waste of potential to be son of Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. Of course, it was always about La Habrea. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. For once be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities. Beyond your shallow reckoning, I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with her mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As Hemethos, I shall serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful unto the end of days. Mythios. And he shall require no other. I think not. Are you blinded by arrogance? You've lost sight of what it means to serve. Ericthonius is more capable than you ever know. It was thanks to his instructions I was able to master the art of interment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Arya, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We also have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly. Say nothing of how swiftly that familiar lay low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Were they further away their strengths in calming the beasts of Asphodelos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Ericthonius. Even dullards have their uses. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Ericthonius worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Keep making me choose nonsense. Tier 9 material. Who wards the warders? Much as I am loath to disturb Ericthonius so soon after what has just occurred, I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the keyword and his father. creation of the ward which surrounds Pandaemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. If both my father and I can bind others in chains, it's perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I am La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. 'Twas La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. You speak of Athena, chief keyword before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I can now see why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You have the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. I see there is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief ward when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. And La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment to spare to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand, after all, namely how to deal with Hesperus. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperus has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperus can contrive another advantage for himself. Wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment. In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to combine him, after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, that he's merely put La Habrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. La Habrea is the chief keyword of Pandaemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? Doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Shall we seek to put him in feathers, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? And if you fail to confine him, I can always strike him down. Daring as ever, I seem. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Asphodelos' plan. Thank you, Arya. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperus spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of the Vercoplochus, a beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperus merged his essence with. And And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Asphodelos, the fourth circle, is now accessible. Very well. Instant it is. I have awaited this moment, witness the full measure of a Hemithos' power. Not of Rini's speaking ability tonight. So we are back down to singular target. Gosh dang it. I really do that again. There's the one master in Asphodelos, so he is going to go through a small rotation to kind of introduce us to his mechanics. And to start off with some good old lightning. If the tanks could get back here, that would be amazing. Apparently they've decided they're going to be there. There's tanks. Thanks. Yeah, it's not like the melee wanted to hit it at all or anything. That's cool. Anyways, after the lightning, we are going to face some water, and I think the water is going to be a knockback. I'm trying to get to a good spot where I can still hit. Kind of from the center here. Actual indicators for what's about to happen are very short, which is why you really need to kind of know what's going on here. I guess I'm kind of just doing it this way, aren't I? Anyways, Hellskewer is going to be a frontal line attack. No, knockback. Link to it. Elegant Evisceration is that buster that I was mentioning. I'm gonna just go visual on this fight. I'm sorry, I don't like actually look at these for anything anymore. So now he's gonna put 3 down. Is important. Because, like I said, you're gonna see 3. And it is random, I think, which might be done. Looks like we're gonna do water first, but there is one element we have not seen yet, and that is that green one. Which is actually our next one. After the because it's Hell Skewer. So poison is a spread attack. Really, it's tame. Anyways, next up is lightning. Cool. Tanks are gonna come join us today. And I'm like bad at my rotation because it's cool. Use that general thing, however, his balloon absorbs ether. In their turns, it shall be undone. So coils. We need to stand in the opposite tower to our job. And no one's apparently taking the tank one, so cool. So basically, we do not want to be in the DPS one. So, decollation is gonna be AoE. Okay, what's really shift? So he's gonna do a direction plus an icon. So you see the little rapier thing? It is a go to the sides. Do not be in front of it, otherwise you get hit by massive, basically the entire arena. This time, we're gonna see what's really shift. Really shift. Oh my god, it's wet! He can do something besides west, by the way. Do all the directions, he just doesn't want to do them. Anyways, Blood Rake. So Blood Rake, as we saw before, leads into absorbing ether, which means this time it's going to be a burst. Pop goes the bubble. And we need to pop ones that are not our job. Grab this tank one. So let's try some Ruin. It's the same deal as, like, say, the Libram. That was not the button I meant to hit, actually. It works. It works. So I think it's if you take 3 bubbles, you just die. If you take one of your own job, you take a lot of damage. Of your own roll. So, once more, setting the scene, there is another addiction, that's the fire one. Also, if you step in the actual, like, elemental puddle, let's see which one he's doing. Fire. So, fire is stack. Easy peasy. He's also going to do a health healer right after, so split the heck up. Knock back. You can kind of stand on this right here and be fine. Knock back is fast here. So we're going to do the coils. This time with the spread. I am in the DPS tower. I need to get out of this DPS tower. This one has gotten me before because I have underestimated how long you have. See, look, I promised he could do other ones. So here's Easterly Shift. There's a long knockback too, so yeah. Oh god, I've been too busy doing mechanics. I haven't been paying attention to my buttons. Oh my gosh, someone else is doing the button. Thank god. Do that button. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Alright. Bubbles, and we've seen basically everything we need to see out of this tier. No. There's a tank one left. Hello. I popped it. Alright, Westerly Shift with that. We're not gonna read it. Could be worse. It could be worse. Or so the achievement says. Because it could be savage. Actually, I don't really know much about savage on this tier. Pandaemonium Asphodelos complete. Wait, 10 items? Oh shit, the orchestrion! I didn't win it. I was like, the orchestrion drop! This is the first time I've ever seen Higgs-Leonis drop. Which is, by the way, is the name of the song in Tier 4. It does exist. Now, Themis, we end this here. Also, I was the only one who rolled on the minion. Fools, I will not be put in chains. To think that I would fall before one such as you, perhaps I should have treated you as more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek, the secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception. They shall return to the star with me. We're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now, surely. You can see that. Yes, my repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to my very last. Come when may I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandaemonium. You had Lahabrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? You would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything. His plans lay in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be Lahabrea's son. How terrible did that jealousy become that he sought verboten power. Power that Lahabrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for one's respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. It's not as uncommon as you might think. See, I cannot but find it vexing. Perhaps that signifies not but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true. How it is to so desperately wish that their light would fall upon you again. We've spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Or of that, at least we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is a perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? What? What is his presence? Ericthonius. What lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Asphodelos is free of obstructions. I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. A warding sigil. How? Let's return to the gates for now. I should like to appraise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Although we've defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandaemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. At least this was more than the result of a panicked mind. We were made to feel this way by a powerful, magical influence. It is possible that the same magic that poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? So, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subject for his experiments for more potential hemethoi. What you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Ericthonios. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Hemethos, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandaemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. The creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that, then nothing's stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement. However, you are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I didn't expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find the way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandaemonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help. Should they come for that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. To that end, Ericthonius and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis is hurting. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two. I mean to repay that debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Otherwise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus's assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandaemonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Arya her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes. I dare say your story will be much more than I ever imagined. Indeed. Indeed. At least now we can just go right here, right? I mean, I guess we couldn't go right here because of the whole, like, oh, we kind of just got sent back by Banon. We don't want to come back because, you know, game technicalities and... Anyway. Pointus. Welcome out, Arya. From the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So, what did you find? So there is evil afoot in Pandaemonium, an already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly rare fortune to see you return to us in one piece. Here's the voice Arya heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery, with the help of Arya, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to the same present she left. Which can mean only one thing, that her intervention in Pandaemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There is no telling what consequences would arise if we stop pursuing this matter now. Whatever applies to unraveling within Pandaemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beast of the rose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandaemonium? Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? Well, we cannot accompany you to the path. Perhaps something can be gained by researching it further? shines just as splendidly as the day we met. She'll begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for this some time. And as matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. Before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I find it only suitable to recruit another assistant. My Linnea is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made from the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring her here and she'll be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras and would give you goods in return that should aid you in trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, then Gigi will be taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental. Something that will dwarf all else I've accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal, and you will be the first to know when we do. Right. No, the option! So we're just gonna ignore that new little quest icon. Quest or two. Alright, allow me to thank you personally for your contribution to our research. Your stories of the ancients' creations have planted the seeds of a great many theories, and I cannot wait for them to flourish. Recount tales of Asphodelos. Oh, right, of course. Professor Claudia has asked me to write detailed records of your investigation. If you won't mind staying for a while, I would ask you to tell me more of your adventures in the past. Adventures that started with that mysterious crystal seemingly containing a message declaring crisis in this Pandaemonium. Of course, Professor Claudia will eventually make a report, but we are deficient on concrete facts at present. To that end, I suppose a comprehensive catalog of the beasts you encountered in this Asphodelos circles would be a fine starting point. Yes, I require every gory detail, every hair-raising description. MJG, I brought the volumes you asked for, but are you certain we need all of this just to research the crystals? Some of these habits of aquatic life forms and myths and folklore of the Phoenix, for example, seem to have little bearing on the subject. In fact, many of these tombs seem to be related to the creatures of Pandaemonium Arya spoke of. Surely we have better things to do with our time. Arya's already encountered and subdued them. So what use could further insight offer? On the contrary, Risenad, we would be remiss in our duties as academics not to take every opportunity to learn more of these subjects. To view the creatures of bygone times through the lens of modern science is a dream so if you have the chance to achieve. Of course, I would not deny a personal interest in the matter. As I thought. Well, there were enough relevant volumes for me to fulfill your request this once. If you wish to sate your appetite for knowledge again, you do so on your own time. Ahem, shall we proceed? Tell me everything you remember, and please spare not a single detail. I'm not easily frightened, you may be assured. We might start with your battle against this transformed water. Asphodelos, was it? I would also like to hear the keyword and nature of this metamorphosis. Good. Thank you for this priceless information. While I'm disappointed I couldn't behold your foes with my own eyes, your stories have given me more than enough to write sufficiently thorough descriptions. Perhaps we should also include basic theories concerning the growth and behavior of these creatures. It would give our little catalog some flavor, wouldn't you agree? Start with habit. Aquatic life forms in our time have been observed to grow to sizes that are orders of magnitudes larger than their larval forms. In fact, it may not be so preposterous to posit that the hippocampus you encounter was merely the larval form of a much more massive and, dare I say, horrific entity. Now, don't look at me like I'm some mad mega. Breakthroughs have been precipitated by even wilder theories than that. The professor always says we mustn't let logic stand in the way of brilliance. Until proven one way or the other, every hypothesis is a valid one. There is nothing quite like the ambrosia of inspiration. Are we making records or creating fairy tales? As long as I make a note in the margins of my records indicating that the theory is unproven, we can't let our imaginations run wild. Yes, I said R. You needn't be a researcher to have an idea that will leave its mark for generations. Pandaemonium Asphodelos Savage is now accessible. So yeah, all that just to unlock Savage. Alright, yeah, thank you. Alright, yeah, so blah 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 blah. That was all just to get Savage. And yeah, so the equipment, at least for this tier right now, is like worse than the craft that I have, even though craft that I have is not up to date. Yeah, I am. Anyway, I think that's gone on long enough. Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I guess next time we're doing patch 6.1 stuff, guys. Oh my gosh. Enjoy the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support really helps keeping content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!